NXT Deadline 2025, the final NXT PLE of the year, is officially in the books. What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Denise Salcedo, and let me tell you, I am so mad that I didn't get to watch this show live last night, but I am here. I just finished watching it right now, and I can't wait to talk about it. There's a lot to get into, so I'm actually going to kick things off with the main event because there was a lot of things in it that made me very, very happy. And let's just get to it. All right. So actually, wait, no, we got to start with the opening match because then that ties into the main event. All right, let's kick things off with the opening match. So we had Ricky Saints defend his NXT Championship against Oba Femi. So let me tell you the roller coaster that this one took me on. As of Tuesday, when I did my NXT post show, in my head, I was thinking, okay, I think Oba Femi might take the title back, right? I started to feel it because, for reasons I will get into in a second, but then on Friday Night SmackDown, when Cody Rhodes said that the winner of Ricky Saints versus Oba Femi would go on to face him at the Saturday night's main event show, then I thought, oh shit, maybe Ricky Saints will actually retain. Well, lo and behold, I should have gone with my initial gut instinct, with that being Oba Femi taking the victory and winning back the NXT Championship. So there's two things to think about here, right now. First and foremost, congratulations to Oba Femi because he is getting a massive opportunity in going in and facing Cody Rhodes on one of the nights that so many people are going to be tuning in to watch, which is John Cena's last match. And the fact that Oba gets to be part of that in a match with Cody freaking Rhodes, that is so huge. People wanted Oba Femi to have a shot against John Cena. And who would have thought that he would end up having a match with Cody Rhodes? Like, that is major, man. So I'm so happy for you, Oba Femi. Cool. Also, on that end, by the way, Oba Femi versus Cody Rhodes, I do see that as a test. Is he going to be ready? How's he going to handle the big spotlight and the big moment? That's going to be something fun to see. But let's get into Ricky Saints. So when I saw this match go down, I thought to myself, oh snap, I don't know that this is necessarily a good sign for Ricky. The fact that he lost the title so very quickly back to Oba Femi made me feel, are things working out for Ricky here on NXT? I don't know. I love Ricky. Like, I'm such a big Ricky Saints fan, but I'm a big Ricky Saints fan because of who I knew Ricky to be in AEW before WWE. So the question is, have the WWE fans been won over by Ricky Saints? Let me know in the comment section below on that one. If you did not watch Ricky in AEW, what do you think about what you've seen so far over on the WWE side? Now, I do want to say that this matchup I thought was fantastic. I think Ricky and Oba, they just hit it off so well. Of course, that wasn't their first match against each other, so they know how to work with each other. But also, when you kicked off with a match like this, it really made the show feel like massive because this is your NXT Championship match. They're going to go at a different speed. They're going to hit a little harder. It's going to come through just a lot stronger. So for that match to open up the night is massive. But my fear coming out of this match was, shit, has Ricky Saints found himself in WWE? Has he found the Ricky Saints that he's meant to be in WWE? I don't think he has found it just yet. That doesn't mean he won't. But I think right now the question is, what can they do with Ricky to really make him stand out, to really make him feel explosive on the show? Because when Oba Femi won, guys, he got a massive pop, massive reaction, and I'm thinking, oh shit. I don't know what this means for Ricky. I do want to see him go full on, full heel mode. I want to see him tear it up, man. I really think they need to go all in with like a cocky, jerkish type of Ricky Saints presentation on the show. So I hope that's the direction they go with Ricky so that he can stand out a lot more. Now, in regards to, I want to tie in what we saw in the opening match to the ending of the night, because the ending of the night was the Men's Iron Survivor Challenge. Okay, thoughts on the actual matchup. One, no one touched Leon and Javon. Leon and Javon were the MVPs. They were the highlights of this match. No one else came close. Everybody else was fine. But Leon and Javon were the two top guys, period. Finitoed, all right? And they were the ones to me that made the match the most entertaining that it could possibly be. Now, Javon Evans got the win. I'm glad. I'm really glad they went in the direction of Javon Evans because now we can sort of resurface back to what a lot of NXT fans wanted to see. And that is Javon Evans finishing his story against Oba Femi. So people wanted Javon Evans to defeat Oba Femi originally and not Ricky Saints. And then obviously they went a totally different direction. But I do think that now Javon Evans I think he should be the guy that goes out there and defeats Oba Femi. In fact, I think they kind of have to. All right. I'm throwing it all out there. Maybe not. I don't know how fast that I don't know. But the reason I say this is because right now you got something very special in Javon. You really, really do. One of my favorite things about any pro wrestling show is having somebody that I'm attached to, somebody that I enjoy tuning in to watch the program for. And on the men's NXT side, I don't necessarily know that you have this overwhelming person that you see on the show and you're like, damn, I got him like champion. Like I got to tune in. I got to see this person. I got to make sure that I'm locked in right on the men's side. Javon Evans could be that person that you're like, oh, he's champion. This is his NXT division now. He's going to be the face of this program with the championship and all. I do think that will drive more people, more interest if they built this show around Javon Evans. I really do feel it. I think that's the way to go. And as we all know, we're still sort of waiting to see Oba Femi on the main roster. So I do think Javon will be Oba Femi fairly quickly. And Oba Femi will go on to the main roster. I think that's what we just got to do. That just feels like the most natural way to go. But here's the other thing. They did have Tony D'Angelo make his return on NXT last night. Totally different version of Tony D'Angelo. Here's the thing with Tony. So Tony D has been a very entertaining person on NXT now for several years as the Don, right? The Don of NXT. He's got this very heavy Italian gimmick, mafia gimmick, and it's gotten him it's gotten him consistently on the show until well, obviously he was gone for a bit, but prior to that, he had consistent storylines and all of that. But I think we all knew that his character sort of had this shelf life and it was only going to go so far, right? Like, I think at that point you kind of thought, all right, I've sort of seen everything that I can see out of Tony D. And the question is, will Tony D ever go to the main roster considering how long he's been on NXT now? And so Tony goes out there and now he looks different. He's acting different, goes after Javon. But here's the thing. This to me feels like whatever new version, new iteration of Tony D that they have, this thing I hope better works out. I hope it works out for Tony D because he's somebody that's been on NXT for such a long time and he's got to find that thing that can get him to that next level. And that next level is the main roster. Hopefully with this new persona, whatever he's got going, we'll learn more about it on NXT, of course. But whatever he's got going right now, I really hope that that's the thing that eventually gets him to the main roster, because then after a while you start to wonder, okay, is this person ever going to make it to the main roster, considering that he's been there for a hot minute. So that's kind of what I'm thinking in regards to Tony D. And I like that they added, hey, man, even though, I like that they added another person to kind of go up against Javon to be another threat on the show as well. So all fine stuff there. That was the opening match and the closing match. Now, I want to go into my favorite match of the night. My favorite match of the night was the Women's Iron Survivor Challenge. The thing I loved about this one was, I felt when I was watching it, I was sitting down in my living room and my husband was sitting on the couch, right? He's watching the football game and I'm sitting there and I'm watching I'm watching NXT and I'm watching this match. And I just said out loud, I turned to him and I said, damn, I love the NXT women's division. And I really, really meant that. Because as I was watching, just like the way the girls intertwined, the way that they moved, the way that they all just went in there and they all had their moments to shine. They all brought something different. They're all such different wrestlers. Like you had Lola out there with all her little speedy kicks. You had that Spanish fly with Jordan and Kalani. Nearly took my socks off. There was just so many moments, like even them kicking off with like having Kendal Grey, who I love, by the way, like Kendal Grey, which by the way, you can check out her interview here on my channel. I don't know that anybody else has an interview with Kendal Grey, and if they do, their sucks. Watch mine. Just kidding. Brought the claws out today. No, seriously, check out the interview with Kendal Grey because she's very, very smart in what she plans to do and how she presents herself as a professional wrestler. And when Kendal Grey won this match, we had considered it a possibility on the NXT post show, but when she actually did, that's a whole different story. I love that NXT sometimes, for better or for worse, sometimes I don't love this all the time. Let me rephrase that. I don't love this all the time, but sometimes I do love when NXT does things that are a little surprising or a little unexpected. Sometimes they overdo it and they do things where I'm like, bruh, did you really just do that? But in this situation, though, I was actually happy that they went with Kendal Grey because I think it's fun to, strap the rocket to a youngin who people are really just getting familiar with. Like they know every other girl in this match far more than they know Kendal Grey. So the fact that they said, hey man, she's winning this, she's taking this, suddenly you're going, hey, this Kendal Grey girl, I got to pay attention to her. Let me see what the fuss is all about, right? And that's what I love that they did here in this matchup. I was on board with everything. Everyone looked awesome. I thought Lola Vice really looked so good in this match, man. She fought so hard in this. So Ruka with her crazy ass soul snatcher off the steel steps. I was like, yo, girl, you're crazy. Kalani Jordan, she's such a solid wrestler. She was great intertwining in there with Kendal Grey. Just across the board, a lot of really good stuff in this women's match. I was a total fan. I really hope Kendal Grey defeats JC Jane, takes that title, and we get a wrestler that is all about the graps with Kendal Grey. I kind of want to say it just like, let's go. Like, really, if you're going to strap this rocket, really light it up and strap the damn rocket on Kendal Grey. I'm good with that. I would love to see it. Anyway, so that is what we saw on the women's side. Fan of that. Now, the next two matches that we had on the show, I really wasn't a big fan of. So Ethan Page versus Mr. Iguana, I thought was fine. There was some, the comedy that I expected in this match. The crowd did react pretty nicely to Mr. Iguana. I think we just needed a little bit more, I don't know. I think it took too long. I'm going to be real with you. Even though it was a pretty short match, certain moments just felt like they took a really long time. I felt like there was just a lot of pauses, and I think that's what took me out of the match. Whereas if it would have been a little bit more tighter, a little bit more succinct, then I think I would have been a little bit more invested. But I was watching the match and I was like, ooh, we need to speed things up here. Like, let's see what else we got. Let's get the show on the road, right? But Ethan Page retains. This match pretty much went as expected. Now, the next match that I honestly did not really like is Izzy Dame versus Tatum Paxley. I felt the best way to describe this match felt like Groundhog Day. And I say that in that we kind of saw the same thing over and over and over again. And I thought, all right, doing it once, you get it. You don't have to do it 50 times in the match. And basically what I'm talking about is they had Izzy Dame who would, look at Tatum Paxley and be like, oh, like, trust me, right? Like this really weird, like, I love you. We're really best friends. And then they would do like a hug or something. And then she'd be like, no, like, this is not what I am to you, right? They did that like 50 times in this match, man, in different variations. But I thought, all right, we don't got to do it more than once. I get the gist. Do not trust her, Tatum Paxley. Like, we all get it. We all get this match. We all get this feud. I don't need it explained to me 50,000 times. So to me, this match felt like Groundhog Day. I'm not kidding you. I thought Tatum Paxley looked fantastic whenever she did get some offense in this matchup. I think Izzy Dame winning was the right way to go because they're going to keep this feud going. So that's fine. There's still more that they can do there. Love Tatum Paxley's appearance with the crying makeup. She really does garner a lot of sympathy, and I think it looks really cool. Now, the other thing that I do want to talk about before we wrap things up with this is Blake Monroe. Blake Monroe is going to be doing an open challenge for her NXT North American Women's Championship, and I could not be happier about this. This is the kind of shit that I sign up for, and I think this is exactly the wake-up call that NXT North American Women's Championship needs, and I think it's a great way for Blake Monroe. Whoops. For Blake Monroe. By the way, guys, my sister's name is Mariah, so it's very easy for me to say Mariah because I say it about 1,000 times a day. My apologies. Do not go and cancel me now. Anyways, so with Blake Monroe, she's what was I going to say? Oh, yeah. I think this is the wake-up call not the wake-up call, but I think it's going to give her an opportunity to showcase more of what she can do in the ring with different competitors, because the matchup that she had with Ruka was so freaking good that I kind of want to keep seeing more of that, right? 100% all in for that. By the way, though, Ava, I did not like her little comments to Blake Monroe where she said, well, you're not Ilya Dragunov. You're not Sami Zayn. No, I did not appreciate those comments by Ava. I was like, so what? Just because Blake Monroe isn't a man doesn't mean that she can't do this open challenge? Oh, I was not on board with that. So Blake Monroe, you go out there and you prove people wrong. But no, seriously, I'm looking forward to those matches. So we'll see what they do from that. Alrighty, guys. There you have it. That was my little NXT Deadline review. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead and let me know in the comments section below. And as always, do not forget to subscribe for more daily pro wrestling content. Bye, everybody.